Hello, world. Welcome to the Pardon the Politics podcast, season 1, episode 10, the big 1-0.
Big X. The big X.
The boys have made it to episode 10 of Pardon the Politics podcast. Welcome to all of our listeners. We are so glad to bring you another episode. I am Jeezy, your co-host here at Pardon the Politics with my partner in politics. Manny, what's good with you, brother?
Man, chilling. Glad to be back. Glad we made it, and only have been kicked off of 2 social media platforms to get to 10. So,
who would have thought, bro? We would have went through so much to get here, but yet again, we are here. And for our listeners, you've been aware of how we've had the struggle of maintaining our socials because the hate is real. But we want to announce that we are now on Blue Sky. So if you're new to Blue Sky, I know there's been a big migration from X over to Blue Sky. If you are on Blue Sky, follow the boys at Pardon the Politics, man. Give us some love over there, and we would gladly appreciate it.
We got the link on our link tree, so make it nice and easy for everybody.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So how you feeling today, man?
Man, I'm good, man. It's been a wild week.
Bruh, I feel like we say that every
week. Every week. So if any of you guys out here watch John Oliver, I never really got why because that's how he almost starts his. He's like, yeah, it's been a wild week. And I'm like, it can't be a wild week every week.
Every week.
But now that we've started doing this, I'm like, no, it is in fact been a wild week every week.
I'll tell you, man, it seems like sometimes I sit back and I'm like, what are we going to talk about this week? And I'm like, it's been a slow week. And it's like all it takes.
We think it once and it completely changes.
Like Bobby Brown said in the Ja Rule song, all we need is the stage, got it.
Doom, 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 doom.
And the content will present itself. So,
just like Bobby Brown did as he hopped out that helicopter.
It presents itself. But before we get into our episode, I do want to take a moment for Manny to share some details with you guys. I want you guys to know that we're not just podcasters. We actually do some things on the side as well too, are heavily involved in the politics. And Manny, I want you to share with the people before we get started what took place this past weekend, man.
Yeah, no. So here in the Raleigh area, it was an event called Civic Saturday. And if you guys are familiar with Civic Saturday, it happens, I don't want to say everywhere, but it happens in various places across the U.S. But basically that's where a lot of community leaders and organizations, they get together, they start talking about issues in the community and how they're going to address and fix them. So I was fortunate enough to be invited to be a part of a panel of not only of community leaders and representatives in the area, both at the state and the local level, to talk about politics, where we are today, and how we really work on bridging that divide in such a tumultuous environment politically. It was a great conversation. A couple of the big things that I really wanted everyone to leave with, and I felt like landed really well, was that, hey, as leaders, we have a responsibility not only to make the right decisions, but you also have a responsibility to those who follow you. And that, those who do follow you, you need to call them out if they're not doing stuff right. And, they can't just always be your cheerleaders. You have to lead them. And part of that leadership is taking accountability. Which, Jays, I'm glad you did that because I believe that's going to go heavily into what we're talking about today. But it was a great event. There was a lot of people there, a lot of good conversations about how we're going to move everything forward. I think if you look at North Carolina, one of the projections, it says by 2050, the state is going to have over 14 million people here.
Wow.
And that prevents challenges across the board, not housing, water, jobs, schools. And, how we got here is not how we're going to get where we need to be in the future. So
exactly.
It's great to be a part of these events and have these conversations, and that it's done in such a way that people can really come together and collaborate about what to do next. So yeah, it was a great time. Glad I was able to do it. Shout out to the Institute of Political Leadership here in North Carolina for asking me to join the panel. I loved it.
Hey, that's what's up, man. So just so y'all know out there, we don't just sit here and talk on these mics and keep them hot. You know, we're out in the community, we out doing things, and my brother Manny did a fantastic job. I'm proud that my brother is out there leading the way, championing the fight, and being involved. And it was something that was beneficial, man. So with that being said, he's exactly right. That's going to lead us right into our discussion today. As you all know, Big Trump,
Bro,
the Big Don Dada has won re-election and has now started putting his cabinet together. He's been appointing and at least nominating the people that he would like in these positions. And we're going to break down some of these because some of them make sense. A lot of them don't.
It's wild. Like the way it started off, just like real normal.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, okay. This seems to be very normal, typical appointment cycles. And then it said, gotcha.
And I think what's so funny, man, when I started seeing these roll out, we had a conversation in our last episode where we were like, is there potential that, we could see some difference in Trump this go around when we talked and pertaining to his comments about, unity and helping out the Harris campaign. And we were like, is he trolling or is he, really trying to be presidential? And then it kind of started out where it's like, okay. And then now we're like, whoa.
he got us going up that mountain of hope again, flying off into that pit of despair. Like
that man.
Every time.
So we're going to break down some of these nominations that he's made or appointments that he's made to these positions. Now, keep in mind, quite a few of them will have to be ran through the Senate.
There's 25 to be exact. Of 25 people have to get past the Senate, have to get 51 votes. So it used to be 60 in, I believe it was 2013. The Democrats lowered that number from 60 to 51 because the Republicans were holding strong and not, signing off on people. So they lowered that threshold. Well, now that threshold's in effect, so you only need a simple majority. You need 50 senators, and I'm going to assume that our co-vice president, J.D. Vance, his vote counts as well.
Yeah. So we're going to run through some of these. First one being our White House chief of staff. So correct me if I'm wrong, man. I don't believe the chief of staff needs to be confirmed, correct?
It is not. That's the right hand of the president, and whoever you want, you get them.
Okay.
And it started off real normal.
Yeah, this was our first one, right? Like this was the first one I think we heard, and we were like, okay. And for those of you that don't know, Trump picked for his White House chief of staff, Susie Wiles. Okay.
Well, hold on. One correction real quick, just before anyone comes in. And there were actually two other officials named, and that is Howard Lutnick and Linda McMahon. They're leading his transition team, while not officially kind of seen as part of his inner circle and cabinet. They were the first initial ones announced, and then Susie was one of the first deep additions made. So,
and shout out to Linda McMahon. I believe ECU alumni. You may be aware of her being is she still married to Vince McMahon?
She still is, in fact, married to Vince. Vincent Kennedy.
Shout out to our wrestling fans. But Susie was picked, and me and Manny were talking in pre-production and found out that Susie's a tough lady. She is known by the nickname the Ice Maiden.
Right. That's first of all,
the name was hard, bro.
Whoever gave her that nickname, Yes, great execution.
Great.
And the fact that Trump is a nickname extraordinaire.
Yes, he is.
The fact that he likes her.
Yep.
And chose not to give her another nickname.
Yep.
Shows this woman goes hard.
Oh yeah, she don't play no games, and she was given this name simply because she does not play no games at all.
She quit grade school because of recess.
I ain't with the games.
I ain't got time for this. We got policy to do. You want to be here playing tetherball? What? We got a nation to save.
We got work to do. So when we heard, that her and looked up a couple of details about her, this was like, okay, makes sense.
Mad normal.
Mad normal.
And I thought it was a great pick. I was like, you know what? Shout out to women advancing, one of the only a handful of women who's ever been the chief of staff of the White House. So I was like, I was feeling good. I was like, you know what? Maybe this is going to be a normal-esque administration. Maybe he's going back. Because if you look at Trump's first wave of picks in 2016, that was a real normal administration for who he selected. Yep.
And she's had some work. She's been on the scene for quite some time. She's done some work with the Ronald Reagan and his 1980 campaign. So she's very familiar of running the show, taking care of business. She's done it for quite some time. So again, normal pick. Then we go into the Secretary of State, and the Secretary of State was named as Marco Rubio.
Man, again, maybe not my pick.
Yeah.
But still extremely normal. And, you know, if you look at Rubio's transformation from when he ran for president in 2015, 2016, my man has done the work. He's one of the lead senators on foreign affairs and intel. Like, he had done the work.
Yep.
So still extremely normal appointment. And shout out to Rubio. Like, to rework your career on your trajectory. And while from a philosophy standpoint, he's very much made that transformation into kind of a populist fundamentalist kind of, if we'll say that. But first of all, it takes a lot of work to do that. So kudos for getting the work in. I still disagree with most populist things. So most, if not all, populist kind of standpoints. But he put in the work, and you like to see hard work pay off for people. But still a normal pick. Still very normal.
He has experience. Like you said, he's worked on the Foreign Relations Committee. He's been in the Intelligence Committee. He again, normal 53-year-old Marco Rubio, if he's appointed, will be the first Latino Secretary of State. Decent pick. Again, normal. Let's use that normal pick. But then
starts getting a little hairy real fast.
When the check engine light comes on and the car starts shaking a little bit. We then get the Attorney General. And the Attorney General is none other than Matt Gaetz.
Ain't no might have. That man did it. Guilty.
Matt Gaetz, the representative out of Florida, has been appointed, has been nominated by Trump to serve as the Attorney General. And you may be familiar with Matt Gaetz. He has faced several investigations into his conduct, and a number of Republican senators have expressed their reservations about support for his nomination. He does not have the best rap amongst his colleagues. And this was one that when I saw it, I was like, okay, now we playing. We playing it. We playing. Oh, we playing games now.
And it wasn't just like the nomination; it was the immediate things that happened. So, because what I don't remember right now is what happened first. No. His announcement came out. that he was getting appointed for attorney general. And then immediately after that, it came out that he was stepping down from the House.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came out right after that, oh, they got an investigation on him, but hey, you guys the report is almost ready, but y'all aren't going to see that.
Yeah.
Like, first off.
And from what, if I remember hearing correctly, since he has stepped down, that they were announcing that whatever the investigation, the report that was going to come out wasn't going to be released. And I'm like, okay, was this just done to kind of save him some face to make sure that report, which I still hope that report drops, because you don't took all this time to put it together. You might as well release it.
Oh, no. Let's get it let's get it straight here. That report's coming out.
Oh, yeah. And I can't wait for us at Pardon the Politics to break it down.
And it's coming out in one or two ways. Either it's going to come out officially.
Yep.
Or unofficially. If it comes out unofficially, I'm going to tell you guys at the pod right exactly when it's going to drop. It's going to drop within 36 hours of him getting ready to go into that first confirmation hearing.
Hey, man, if that is the case, the coals that will be raked up under Matt Gaetz.
Don't no one like him.
They don't like the guy, man.
At all.
And you know McCarthy is like, he's been very adamant. He said that, the reason why Gaetz opposed him because he wouldn't stop the investigation that was going on into the things that he has been accused of doing.
Even with that, the man essentially by himself shut down Congress for 3 weeks.
Yes, he did.
Till we got a new speaker.
Yep.
It's some of the most obstructionist behavior that I've seen from an official.
Yeah.
That in a long, long time.
And I remember the clips, man, when they were trying to get things passed. And I remember one of the old, I'm going to call him an OG, but he was one of the OG Republicans. And he was in Matt Gaetz' face like, bruh, cut it out. we got work to do. And it was funny because Gaetz' face looked like, that little kid, okay, I'm sorry. But Trump came out and he made this just even floored me even more. He came out with a statement to go along with his nomination of Matt Gaetz. And he said, Matt will end weaponized government, protect our borders, dismantle criminal organizations, and restore America's badly shattered faith and confidence in the Justice Department. Okay.
Look, okay, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's put all the fact that he's a criminal and let's put all that to the side. I don't see anything on this man's resume that gives me any sense of confidence that he is ready to be the top policing official in the United States.
Well, Trump said that I'm assuming this was his reason that he felt that Matt Gaetz would be excellent for this role. Trump said on the House Judiciary Committee, which performs oversight of the DOJ, Matt played a key role in defeating the Russia hoax. The work that he did to defeat the Russia hoax gave him the nod to be an excellent attorney general.
I don't know what we're doing. We're playing games. I will still be shocked if he actually makes it to confirmation day. I don't see a world, because also he's a fire thrower. Yeah. So he's flamed up so many of the senators. Brother man,
you don't burn bridges and then want to come back and create a path out of the ashes. It just don't work that way.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So I really can't see. And then and I think I've shared this in our chat. I don't even know if it's if Trump even believes that it's going to pass. I really, in my mind, I really looked at this as a, hey man, I'm about to be in a pickle. This report about to drop. Hey, give me the nod. I'll drop out. I'll resign. And then when they don't appoint me, I'll just go back to Florida and, either I'll be a lobbyist. Yeah, I'll be a lobbyist, or I'll be on Fox, or, I'll have some.
Oh, that's definitely where he's going. He's going to look, he's going to write a book.
Yep.
And he's going to do the Fox circuit. And
will the book be like OJ's if I did do it?
Bro, probably. So he'll go do that. Either he'll make it to Fox.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make the Fox cut, he'll go to Newsmax.
Yep.
If he doesn't make Newsmax, he'll go to OAN.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't make OAN, he'll probably start a podcast.
Bruh. So, this is where things started to get a little hairy, as Manny said.
A little questionable.
But it gets even more questionable. The next person that was given a nod was, in this position, was the Department of Health and Human Services. This was none other than Robert Kennedy Jr., a.k.a. Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was picked. Trump saying that he will take on industrial food complex and drug companies who have engaged in deception, misinformation, and disinformation, and will make America great and healthy again. And before we jump into this, I just want to make a comment. When Obama was president and Michelle went on this thing to make to make school lunches healthier for kids.
No, don't do that. What are we doing?
And they had a fit when this woman was trying to get them off of those spaghetti and meatballs made out of industrial waste. They about had a fit. Well, now we got Kennedy, who is going to lead the Department of Health and Human Services if he is indeed confirmed. What's your thoughts on Bobby?
Trump, you playing games. So, and I said it to G's in our chat, and I was like, here's what I think is happening at this point. Because at this point, we got Gaetz, who I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And we got Bobby. And I'm convinced that, look, Trump is not a stupid man. Trump is not a stupid man.
Right.
So part of me is like, he's got to know that these guys aren't going to pass confirmation. Like, he's got to know that, right? Like, I really hope he knows that. So my thinking is, he's like, cool, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you guys up for this. Y'all are going to lose. And then when y'all come complaining to me about it, I'm like, oh, I tried, but the Republicans are. All right. And that's why I think that's what I'm hoping is the play here. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm hoping he's not, like, actually going to put this man in charge of anything. Like,
there's no way, man. First of all, didn't the man tell us that a worm ate some of his brain?
Ate half his brain.
Ain't this the same man that said he killed the animal and dropped it off in like a park in New York?
Bro, people I would trust. But people I would trust without formal training as a doctor being over this organization. First off, Dr. Sebi. All right. I'll listen to Dr. Sebi first before I'm listening to RFK. Like, what?
Bruh, I am not taking my information from RFK. I'm just not. I have no faith.
But he's got, for me, I think he's just, Trump is playing games here. There's got to be some level of 4D chess. I'm hoping that this is just 4D chess where he's testing everybody. He's got to be trying to see, like, okay, how the Senate going to act?
Yep. And I think we mentioned that in our group chat that two things are possible here. Could it be that, hey, he promised, Bobby, you drop out, and I'll promise you a position, knowing that the position I'm gonna have to give you is gonna have to be confirmed, and I know that you're not gonna get confirmed.
I'm a man of my word.
I'm a man of my word, but the word don't have nothing to do with me. So when you don't get it, you can't say that I didn't hold up my end of the bargain. Or is it one of those things where it's like Trump's just like, I gotta get rid of him. This is the only way. This is my only path to get rid of him.
And if that is the path, genius. It is a genius path. And is it a deal that I could have seen Donald cut to make sure that he got out of the race and wasn't a problem in the presidential election? Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
But also, go ahead, I'm sorry.
But Bobby, really? Really?
And I think when we get to these confirmations, when these meetings start to take place and they're grilling these nominations, I think we get to see where does the party stand when it comes to being behind Trump. Because, and I almost feel like what you're saying in a sense that Trump's throwing people out there to really say, okay, how loyal are y'all going to be behind me?
How deeply y'all going to fall in line? How deeply are y'all falling in line?
If I nominate a dog, are y'all going to confirm the dog?
Because he's got at least two.
Yeah.
That we've just covered right now. Y'all
they got no business being nowhere near Washington, D.C.
And they don't have that much. There's not a lot of time. But I think the other key in all this, we see it with Matt Gaetz, and we'll get to I'll hold this for when we get to the defense secretary, but there's a lot of questions here. Yeah. I don't see a logical world where Bobby Kennedy becomes the head of Health and Human Services. But I don't know if we're really in a logical world anymore. So,
bro, and that's the thing, bro. We sit here and it's like, I don't think that some of these things could happen, but there's a lot of things that have happened that I didn't think was possible, and they've happened. Yep. So we'll see. So we then got the UN ambassador, which is Elise Stefanik. Nothing really much on her. She was a representative, I believe, of the
New York
number 4th House Republican that sat in the district in upstate New York. Again, she's a Trump ally. She was chair of the House Republican Conference. Nothing dirty on her.
I mean, 3rd ranking House Republican for being in her just turning 40, I believe.
Yeah.
Am I doing my math? Yeah. Very normal. Very normal. Yeah. With this pick, I think, but we're really seeing a pattern where Trump is rewarding that loyalty to him.
Brother, that's a lot of what I'm seeing. It's just loyalty.
Yeah.
But again, nothing on her that I would say, looking at her that I'm like,
Will there be questions when they dig into like their experience and whatnot? Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah. But no major red flags at this point from someone that would seem, because again, I want to remind our listeners in terms of the confirmation, this exists really just from a standpoint of allowing the Senate to voice an opinion on how the president will govern.
Yeah.
So in most cases, I think the last time someone actually legitimately, they got put all the way through the process, it came to a vote, and they said no, was back in the 80s. So usually the presidents get largely who they want. And if there's going to be an issue, they withdraw their name out of it. So, but we'll see. We'll see. But this pick was very normal.
Yeah. So we kind of got the car out of the ditch just a little bit. We got 2 wheels on the street, 2 wheels on the gravel, on the shoulder. But then
put the spikes on the tires.
Oh boy, we switched out the car and we got an armored vehicle. And the The next nomination that we heard was the Border Czar, Tom Homan. Bro.
Who does? Sir Tom does not have to be confirmed.
Yep, he does. So
He's here. This is his job.
He is the Border Czar. First of all, I never even heard of a Border Czar until Trump started talking about a Border Czar. But he is. He was the acting director of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement during Trump's first Trump administration. So he was the lead acting director of ICE.
And before that, for the Obama administration, he was the executive associate director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like if there's one thing this man knows, it's borders.
Oh yeah. And
he was a border patrol agent.
Oh yeah,
man.
If there was a clip that came out on the socials where he had on, I believe it was CBS. And let me tell y'all that when Trump was talking about that mass deportation, and it's going to be the largest deportation in American history, I want y'all to know he went and got Nick Saban for the job. Right. he went and got Bill Belichick.
Right.
He ain't playing no games with none of you.
I imagine in this man's basement, he's got maps and yarn going from push pins. Bruh. Like, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to move them here. Bro.
He ain't playing no games. The lady asked him, is there any way that you can carry out this deportation without separating families? And the man, as cold as can be, said, yes. Take the whole family with you.
That is wild. That is.
You don't want to break nobody up. The whole family can go.
No, it can go.
Hey, you don't want to see grandma and grandpa go. Round up the whole family and take them on with you.
Wild.
So if there was any question of how this was going to play out, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know that they got the right man to do it because he is not playing any game. So between now, when you hear this podcast, and by the time he takes his position, if this may affect you in any way, I just want to tell you, hug your family, hug your family, love them, kiss them, because he coming.
Nah, they don't have to hug their family because it sounds like he's going to send the family. Look, all y'all hop in the van. Come on, we going on an adventure. Come on, like,
hey, go ahead and tell the kids we going on a family trip.
Wild.
He ain't playing no games, man.
Wild.
So I'm interested, and I'm not saying I'm interested in a good way. I'm really interested in how this will look and play out because
not well. No. We don't even got to be interested. We already know how it's going to play out. Not well at all.
It's going to be nasty, man. But again, I'm not going to gripe. But this is what people wanted. So
give them what they want.
Give them what they want. So now we're in the armored vehicle, and we are now at
we're running out of gas. We're running out of gas.
We are now at our defense secretary, and the defense secretary Trump announced is he has nominated former Fox News host Pete Hegseth to head the Department of Defense.
Let me tell you, when I saw this come across, what I said to myself, I said, the dude from Fox?
Not the one that was trying to throw an axe at the board and missed the board clearly and hit somebody.
But really? Like, and before we continue, he did serve in our military to protect this country. So
we're not taking that from him.
We're not taking that from him at all. But look,
not this, bro.
But and look at he's gotten 2 Bronze Stars. And a combat infantry badge for his service. So we thank him for his service to this country. Now, all that I'm saying is that you're going from being a Fox commentator to running the most expensive military in the world.
That's a bit wild, brother.
That's a hell of a promotion.
he's a young man, 44. And again, he's had a great military record. He served in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Guantanamo Bay. But that's a jump.
Well,
that's a mean jump.
And this pick really just now called into the question and the point I was going to bring up earlier, but I wanted to save it for this moment. Mm-hmm. Are you vetting these people? So usually with cabinet appointees, mm-hmm. the FBI vets you. Mm-hmm. And you go through all of their processes and you get signed off because these people are not seeing everyday information you can just turn on your computer and Google. Mm-hmm. These people are getting top secret information, military institute. And what we found out, I want to say it was late Friday, it had come out that our man's has got himself in a pickle. Back in 2017 with a sexual assault allegation against him. And then it came out Sunday that a level of money, he has not been charged criminally. Mm-hmm. I want to say that for the sake of, lawyers and all that good stuff. He is not being charged criminally. But allegedly there was a payment that had come across from him to somebody. And they got on the Book of Faces, and then geo-matched him to being at the same location for during the same time that the alleged event had happened. But I just got to ask the question, like, it came out like, is the FBI vetting these people? Turns out they're not.
Oh, that's wild.
They're not. The Trump team believes that the FBI moves so slowly and they want to have people prepared and ready to go. So what they are using allegedly, I believe, third party vetting places. Leave it to government that, if there's a service you need, somebody will create it so the government can pay them. But I'm just like, we have the FBI for a reason.
Yeah.
But also, these private organizations are not going to have this same level of vetting capacity that the FBI does.
Bro.
If the FBI wanted to, I believe wholeheartedly, they could hop into this podcast and say, hey, y'all, we listening.
Hey.
I don't know many other organizations that could also do that. So
Trump using the same vetting process they use at Burger King and McDonald's for the fry cooks.
Right. Like really? Like, this doesn't make sense from a lot of standpoint. But what the fact that Trump is complaining is something that we knew during the election. So a little bit more background. After you become the nominee and as you get closer, so after you become the nominee, the president, the two presidential candidates start receiving some of the same presidential briefings that the president gets. Mm-hmm. So the same briefings that Joe's been getting since August go to Trump. They also go to Vice President Harris for the continuity of government. Yeah. What we do know for sure is that the Trump campaign did not sign any type of memorandum of understanding with the current Biden administration, because one of the reasons they do that is so they can start running these names and start doing this vetting of people. So does it take a long time? Yeah. But there's also a lot of time allotted for somebody to do this. Yeah. So this shows the lack of cooperation with the Trump administration, with the Biden administration in a potential handover of power.
And this just, when we think of somebody that, is a defense secretary, we think of someone qualified to handle. This isn't a light job at all. I mean, the defense secretary oversees the Defense Department and acts as the principal defense policymaker and advisor. Like, this is a serious role. And to nominate someone that seems very underqualified, again, not taking away from what he's done as a soldier, that is in a different boat, in a different category for me when it comes to the secretary, the defense secretary. And I just think that, this overreach of finding the yes men, finding the loyalty rather than the people that are qualified to actually do the job. It's striking to me, man. And I don't know.
I think what we're going to see is a cycle, and it's going to be a very clean cycle. So Trump hires yes men. Mm-hmm. The yes men are going to do exactly what Trump wants. Mm-hmm. People are going to be mad because what Trump wants is not what they actually want. Mm-hmm. People will then get mad at mad at Trump. Mm-hmm. Trump's response, well, it wasn't me. It was my secretary that did it. Trump's, these are bad actors. We're going to get rid of them. So we're going to, Trump is then going to fire said yes men to find some new ones to put in there.
There's a whole lot of bodies under that bus.
Right. I remember one of the biggest complaints about Trump were like worry about national security, what he was going to do with the military. And I remember just feeling so comforted that James Mattis was selected to be the Secretary of Defense. Because I was like, you got someone who's been in here, who's been in the trenches. He needed a special waiver because he had not been away from the military long enough for our standards. And I was like, cool. You know, and also crazy Mad Dog. What?
Mad Dog.
Other Marines called him Mad Dog. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, we good here. But we saw what happened. Mm-hmm. This is wild.
This is very wild. And
this is wild.
He's another one I don't see passing, but we shall see.
At this point, what it also came out when that information came out on Friday, it said the Trump team was taken by surprise to hear these allegations.
Oh, really? We've been running these nominations through Ban Trump, and he said that he was good on TikTok. He ain't find no dirt on him on TikTok.
He's good, man. He's good.
This is crazy. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with that. Next, we ended up getting the Secretary of Veteran Affairs, Doug Collins,
who I believe is more qualified to be Secretary of Defense than Mr. Pete. But
he definitely, again, now he's been around for a while, for a little bit. He was the top Republican on the House Judiciary Committee. But again, some loyalty. He defended Trump during his first impeachment hearing. So he I believe has a background in the military. Yep. He's a military veteran. Yep. But yeah, I didn't necessarily see anything too striking about this nomination other than the fact that, again, he's a yes man.
But again, how striking is it going to be when the person who's running the Department of Defense or the Attorney General is also so crazy? Like, is this also one of those things where it's just like, well, he's not as crazy with the nomination of Matt Gaetz? Mm-hmm. Are we now going to be looking at the rest of the nominations, in comparison to that? Because if we're doing that, we're getting ready to miss a whole lot of other things. Because, this person is not as bad as Matt Gaetz. Yes. But let's ignore Matt Gaetz for this person. Let's look at this person for who they are. Mm-hmm. So,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Then we ended up getting the National Secretary Advisor, which is Michael Waltz. Michael Waltz is a Green Beret veteran who has served multiple combat tours in Afghanistan, the Middle East, and Africa. He was elected to Congress in 2018, replacing Ron DeSantis, who had been elected Florida's governor. So he's a person, military background, has some knowledge.
Relatively normal.
Relatively normal. So again, we get these moments where when you go through this list, we get these moments where it's like, okay, yeah, the car's on fire, we're in the ditch, and then it's like, okay, let's get it back on the road and see what happens. And again, pretty normal pick. We ended up going to the Interior Secretary, which is Doug Burgum, which I'm sure you're familiar with Doug. Doug was actually in the running for the Republican nomination, but he backed out. And I believe a month after he backed out of the race, he endorsed Trump.
Kool-Aid.
Indeed. Again, Doug is a guy, and I remember when he was running, not a guy I really know a lot about. Not a lot of details on him. He's from North Dakota. I don't know a lot about North Dakota, so I definitely don't know a lot about him. But again, he seems like even when he was in the campaign for the brief moment seemed like a pretty normal guy. Nothing crazy about him. So again, hey, cool. But then we get to the Secretary of Homeland Security. And we go right down to the south of the state, the South Dakota, and the Governor Kristi Noem was nominated. And if you are familiar with her, first Trump came out and said that picking her, he praised her for being very strong on border security. Kind of really don't know if that qualifies her when she's in South Dakota.
You in the South Dakota. Like, you worry about Doug and company coming down? You worry about Canada? Canada run up into your spot? Like,
and that's when Trump said this, I'm like, he trolling. He got to be trolling this. You praise her for her being strong on border security, and border security ain't even a problem for her.
Bruh. It's like me being strong on veganism.
Right.
Like, yeah, I had a salad, but it makes me a vegan for like this much time. Like,
right. So in this role, her office would oversee the department's work on enhanced security, protecting cyberspace, administer immigration, and respond to disasters. And if you're not familiar with her, it was recently, not recently, a few months back, she had a book that came out called No Going Back, where she made some pretty wild claims. She had falsely claimed that she had met North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, and they would press her about that on her little book tour, and she just didn't have any response for it. But it's like, so she made up this whole thing about, first of all, why would Kim Jong-un be meeting with anybody from South Dakota? What dealings y'all got? Like, come on. Like, now I know some people, I know Trump do lie a little bit. A lot of it. But now that's a lie. She don't hold no.
What did Brother King say?
Somebody told a lie today. And then it was revealed that she shot and killed her 14-month-old dog Cricket after failures at training.
And that's wild. But it's wild that because your dog fails training that you killed it. But
and
then
she stood on it now. She stood on business about it.
But then it's equal, like, why do you share that with people? Like, doesn't that also kind of show some failings of you as an owner? But I mean, never mind. You do your thing. You do your thing, Kristi.
And we here at Partner Politics do not condone any type of violence to animals whatsoever, especially if the dog is failing training. That ain't maybe he needs another trainer. Maybe it's you. I've watched enough Dog Whisper to know sometimes that it might be the owner. It might just
be there are no bad dogs. There are bad owners.
So, she getting nodded as the Secretary of Homeland Security. Again, here we back in the ditch. And now the gas lights on and the check light engines on. I'm not understanding this pick. I don't think that I don't think she'll pass. I just don't see enough of, any qualifications. Matter of fact, why ain't you make Borders our homie? Secretary of Homeland Security. He don't play no games.
But you know why? Because our man at the border is going to be focused on the border and nothing else. He ain't going to be... There's other parts of the job they need to figure out. My man's going to be focused on the border.
He's like cyberspace, bro. I don't even believe the internet real. What I do know is I know that border down there is physical, and I can fix that.
But Tom is probably out there with the tape measure, like, I think 35 and a half should do. Like, he out there measuring for the fence dimensions himself personally.
Tom go out there and get a bit of the sand on it and rub it on his gum.
This is good. This is good.
They'll be here to be 2,100 hours. Be here.
I feel it in the vibrations of the ground.
Bro, so I don't understand this pick, but whatever, that we'll see what happens. So then we get the CIA director, which is John Ratcliffe, and John Ratcliffe served as director of national intelligence during Trump's first term, but now he's a CIA director. Pretty normal.
Okay.
Pretty normal. And some of these things, man, I don't understand.
Survived the first Trump administration, so
why not make him director of national intelligence again?
Part of me's got to believe that internally, like, people like that, he's gotten, or at least he's been advised by his team, like, hey, this person is really good at this one thing. And I think we're seeing it. So if you guys anyone watched the clips of UFC 309, I want to say, what last night? Oh, Trump pulled up with the squad. Yeah, like, I feel like he's taking his cabinet secretary level people and trying to turn them into, like, media superstars.
Yeah, like, it's weird, man. Right. And when it came to Ratcliffe, just for some details, Trump praised him for his investigation into Hunter Biden. So, ding, and the FBI's use of the FISA, which is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. So Trump said that Ratcliffe has always been a warrior of truth and honesty with the American public. And he said that I look forward to seeing him use those abilities at the highest level of our intelligence program. So, again, fairly normal, but it takes another turn in the ditch.
Yep.
When we go to Director of National Intelligence, and that was none other than Tulsi Gabbard.
Shout out to America Samoa for getting some representation. Yep. That's kind of where it stops, man. Like,
the silence was telling.
Yeah.
Now, Trump said in his statement that for over 2 decades, Tulsi has fought for our country and the freedoms of all Americans. Okay.
One thing that is never in doubt with Tulsi is her military credentials. Mm-hmm. Like, again, salute anyone who has dedicated time in our military to protecting our freedoms here. But that being said, there are some questionable conversations that she's had in her post-2020 presidential run that was on the Democratic side. So there's questions here about her relationships with Russia and comments that she's made regarding Russia and other parts of America, where I think we gotta ask ourselves, not saying that I think she's a foreign agent or anything to that sense, but like, who are your friends?
Bingo. And it was said that she does not have any experience in the field of intelligence, and Vladimir Zelensky, if you're listening, you might want to listen up to this part, but she opposes the U.S. intervention in the war in Ukraine. So when Don Jr. told you that allowance going to run up come January 20th,
he won't lie.
He won't lie. She is not. She has been opposed to the U.S.'s intervention, and her views on Russia and her 2017 meeting with Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad have drawn some controversy as well. So again, a person that has kind of had themselves in this position, and now you want to elevate that person to director of national intelligence. I don't know, man. That seems a bit iffy.
Bold move, Cotton. Hope it pays off for him.
Hey, we'll see. So we're getting down to the end of this, y'all. So we got 2 more that we'll talk about. The next one will be the U.S. ambassador to Israel. Mike Huckabee has been nominated by President Trump. Huckabee is the former governor of Arkansas, or Arkansas. Shout out to T-Pain. He has been nominated. So Trump says that Mike has been a great public servant, governor, and leader in faith for many years. That's a little weird of a statement coming from Trump. He loves Israel and the people of Israel, and likewise, the people of Israel love him. Mike will work tirelessly to bring about peace in the Middle East.
All right, so I'm going to say two things here, and I want to be very clear on these two things I'm going to say. Mike Huckabee as the ambassador to Israel is a very normal-esque pick. Mm-hmm. That being said, Palestine is in a pickle.
Right. Palestine is in a
major
pickle. I looked up some information and just who Huckabee is, which I believe is related to Sarah Huckabee, correct?
Yep, I believe so.
I don't know the exact relation, but she's the current governor of Arkansas, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Just want to make sure I got my details.
It's her dad. It's her dad. Her dad.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So I looked up some clips and, some details on them. And boy, the way he talks about the Palestinian people and Palestine just as in general, which kind of led me to a conversation we had in the chat where, some people did not agree with how the Biden administration handled the war with Israel. They felt like they kind of just let Israel do whatever and really didn't do anything that would help preserve some safety for the Palestinian people as Israel sought to make an end to Hamas. So a lot of them didn't vote. And you didn't vote, and I guess your solidarity or speaking up for what the Biden administration did or did not do. And now you have Trump appointing someone who is the U.S. ambassador to Israel, who has said in multiple clips that there is no two-state solution. There is no West Bank and Gaza.
Mike Huckabee grabbed his Bible and pulled out... opened up to the Old Testaments somewhere in Joshua and said, "What Palestine?"
Bruh, there is. So for those that did, who spoke in and against what the Biden administration did, I can promise you that you will probably not be happy with what the Trump administration will do. There will not be I'm not going to say there will not, but I feel very strongly that the conversation of there being a two-state between Palestine and Israel, I do not believe will happen. Nope. And when you listen to Mike Huckabee,
this administration,
he firmly does not believe.
Wait, hold on. You just call this man Mike Huckabee?
I did.
Sorry, y'all. Ain't no two-state. There we go.
You about to put Palestine in the huckle. That's for sure. Because I'm telling you. But again, normal pick for his stance on Israel. But I believe that things are not going to play out well in that region. And I think when Trump said that he will work to bring about peace in the Middle East, I think that we understand wholeheartedly what that's going to look like. And I think Big Benny is pretty satisfied with this pick.
Yeah.
So last but not least, we have the two greatest nominations that can be made out of the entire list that we just ran down. And that is a department that you have not heard of before. It is new to our states, our great United States. And that is the Department of Government Efficiency. And the two nominees for that are Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, before we begin, by it being a new department, do they have to be confirmed?
Nope. To my understanding, no need to confirm them. That This thing doesn't exist. It's like Space Force. It didn't exist. You can't regulate something that doesn't exist. So it's just here now. Now, could that change between now and election day? Not election, but in inauguration day, maybe. But who knows? At least at this point, they do not have to get approved. But first off, I want to correct you. And we on this podcast are going to refer to Elon Musk correctly, and that is Vice President Elon Musk.
Vice President Elon Musk.
Well, I'm gonna start putting out flyers. Where is JD?
Hey, bro. JD, I felt like really thought that, man, I'm just along for the ride because there's no way Trump's gonna win. And since Trump has won, we ain't seen JD at all. You couldn't get rid of JD. Now you ain't. We might have to put out a Where's Waldo?
Bro, where is JD? People talking about where was Kamala? Where is JD?
Where is JD?
I ain't seen him. Like, I think the last time I saw them together was election night.
Man.
And I haven't seen them together since.
This is crazy. So Vice President Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have been named heads of the Department of Government Efficiency. And I find this quite funny that it's government efficiency and you need two people to run it. But
right. You need two people to run it. And then you just decided to create more bureaucracy to fix a bureaucracy. Oh, and by the way, there are other government agencies that exist to deal with the bureaucracy and the Congressional Budget Office. Virtually for every bill that comes through, does the math. They say, "Hey, y'all, this is what this costs. Y'all cool with that?" And you know what we always say? Yep. Mm-hmm. So you know who made us inefficient? Our elected officials. They made us inefficient.
This is crazy, and even Vivek, and just so you understand how wild this is, and I was talking to Manny about this earlier, that there was a clip that Vivek came out and was talking about, I guess, efficiency, and he said that what you could do is get everybody in a company together. And you can say, okay, everybody whose social security number ends with an even number stay. The people whose social security number ends in an odd number, they can leave. He said, and then with the remaining people, you say, okay, if the first digit of your social security number starts with a even number, you stay. If it starts with an odd number, then you leave. And he said that right there would cut about 75% of the people out. And he said, and from what people like me, that's what he said, that run companies know that 20 to 25% of the company does 85 to 90% of the work. He said, and that's how if you get efficiency within your company. And I was like, bro, I know this man playing.
Bro, y'all making it up as you go. I'm convinced that y'all don't actually run companies like
y'all can't. There is no way y'all run companies and thinking that. So what if all the people that sit on the board, all of their social security numbers are odd? I guess we're just gonna get Clarence from the cleaning committee. He's just gonna get bumped up, and now he's a director. CEO.
I'm running cybersecurity,
bro. You got a man that's been cleaning toilets over the weekend. Now he working the servers.
The guy who needs his grandkids to help unlock his iPhone.
Bro, now he running meetings. But they think this is efficient. This is crazy to me. This is madness. I don't understand. And I thought that I was like, okay, he's gonna give them positions. And again, like you said, there may be something that changes between now and then. But I was like, okay, before we got this announcement, I was like, okay, I don't know what position Elon, he might weasel his way into something. But I for sure thought Vivek wasn't going to get anything. And if they don't have to be confirmed and they have a say-so, and again, there's a lot of detail because this is new. What level or range of power will they have in what they're able to do?
We'll find out shortly. But
because if somebody's a director over this. If let's say, does this clash with all the other departments? Because if I'm in charge of national security, if I'm Tulsi Gabbard and I'm in charge of national security, and do I then have Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy over my shoulder saying, you got to cut this, you got to cut that, you got to cut this?
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
This sounds like it's going to be a
hot mess.
What about my man, the Secretary of Defense? He's already not qualified, and then you're gonna have Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk over him, telling him what he's gonna do when he don't even know what he's supposed to be doing with what he got.
Cut $57 billion from your budget. That line, sir. That is all of our satellites. That line. That's our entire Navy.
Well, just get rid of the women.
Right. Bruh.
Which is a real statement.
It's a real statement. It came out of his mouth.
H7 has said that women do not have any place in combat. But that's another topic for another day. But I just don't see. Man, this is crazy.
And these confirmations are about to be interesting.
Very interesting.
And so I think we called it out before. Everyone who needs confirmation there's only 51 Republican senators. You need 53. You only need 51. So you lose a couple and then the game, set, match. And what I want to provide to our listeners is senators that I believe that you guys should keep your eyes out on for putting Trump in a pickle and putting his people in a pickle. First is going to be Susan Collins from Maine. We already know old Susie Q be giving people some problems with these votes. So Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska. She's about to cause them some problems. John Cornyn from Texas. Keep your eyes out for him. Chuck Grassley from Iowa. Not as big of a threat as some of the other ones, but he's going to have some questions. Todd Young from Indiana. John Bozeman from Arkansas. Shelley Capito from West Virginia. Jerry Moran from Kansas. Joni Ernst from Iowa. And the senator I believe that's in the largest pickle of them all is Tom Tillis. Because this Senate seat in North Carolina next cycle between Tom Tillis and whoever it's going to be is rumored that Roy Cooper might be looking at it. Wiley Nickel will be looking at it. Doesn't matter who's going to be from the Democratic side. That is getting ready to be the most expensive Senate race in the country. And we are going to get called and texted into oblivion. And I already hate the next election. I already hate it.
We haven't even got there yet.
We haven't even got. But, great guy, very strong on principle. But he's going to have to walk a very delicate balance between keeping enough Trump support so he can keep voters in line for his election versus doing the right thing. Now, I think he will err to do the right thing. Yeah. But look, sometimes you're going to have to make some tough decisions, and he's going to have to make some tough decisions as we progress through this.
Well, we know Tom can get a little petty now, so I'm definitely interested in seeing his approach to when Gaetz has to get under them coals.
Right. Let me tell you, if he actually goes to confirmation, I'm taking that day off of work because I got to see that. I need to be able to sit comfortably. I ain't got time to be answering. Right. I ain't got time to be answering Teams messages. I'm here to laugh.
I'm going. Wait. Why are you taking? Why are you taking off today? I'm going to a comedy show.
Right. I got to see this live. I don't want to watch the highlights.
I got to see this from start to finish. So that is the list of people that, and there are more, but we just wanted to hit some of the ones that we thought were more important than some of the others. And some of them, quite honestly, were normal normal picks that we felt like weren't pushing the envelope too far. But definitely
some of these were egregious.
Some of these were, man, he could have just nominated me and Manny.
Would have done comparable jobs in terms of competency to lead a government organization right now.
Well, I will say this, while there were nominations going out, there were two who have not been nominated, and that leads us into, you guessed it, our pickle of the week.
We got your pickle. We got your pickle. We got your pickle.
And our pickle or pickles of the week are Tim Scott and Byron Donalds. Because Trump been handing out these nominations like draw two and draw fours and skips and reverses, but he ain't gave nothing to them two boys. now
these two Scott, went. These hard, two went hard for him, man.
Man, I've seen more of Tim Scott's gums than we've seen of JD Vance the entire time he's been the nominee. This man don't waste time for to praise Daddy Trump for all that he's done. And time comes around to start getting the nominee, and boss man ain't look his way.
If one of these two gets appointed to be the Secretary of Education, I'm gonna be weak.
Bruh.
Because how you going? You did all of this to get appointed to the department that they said on day one they're getting rid of.
Oh, hey, bruh. Please, no. I need that to happen. I need one of them to be appointed in that position, and then for them to cut that position. That will be
Oh no, there's one more ignorant. If he places either of these two young individuals as Secretary of Agriculture, I just don't want it to happen because I don't want to see the memes for the next 4 years. Because they are going to meme them into infinity.
They're going to destroy him. They're going to destroy him, man. It made me think about that that good old saying, brother. That good old verse. What is it? Profit a man, gain the whole world. And lose his soul. You did all that under Trump, and Trump hadn't thought of you. Well, I ain't gonna say he hadn't thought of you, but he ain't thought of you yet.
You ain't been a Mar-a-Lago party. He ain't. You sitting in timeout with JD.
Man, that just shows you, But again, not surprised by Trump. We'll see what he does. Right now, them two brothers, they in a bit of a pickle, man. Looks like it's getting the appointments are getting a little thin, and they're running out of seats.
Running out of space. Ain't no space at the end.
And I will say, so far there ain't much color in this list of nomination. We got
They got Marco Tulsi and old Vivi
and Vivek. So we got a little paprika. We got a little color.
And I guess technically Elon Musk is African.
All right. All right.
I mean, that's all we got.
That's all we got.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. They said no. What is it? DI hires.
Zero.
But those brothers are indeed in a pickle. So, with that being said, as we reach the conclusion of this episode, we will go into our spotlights of the week. So what you keep your eye on this week, Manny?
Man, so one thing I think, we're looking at largely is obviously the more appointments and as they roll out and the fallout from those. But I want to do something a little bit non-political, but I'm keeping my eye out.
Okay.
Did you know the space station is leaking?
Bruh. Hey, you remember when homie said something a couple of weeks ago? He called, he was like, yo, I keep hearing a noise. Y'all check and see what this banging noise I keep hearing.
So apparently the Russian side of the International Space Station is leaking. And Russia and the U.S. are in a disagreement over how worrisome this leak is. And you know what? I feel bad for them two poor Boeing astronauts.
Bruh.
But you thought you were going to space for 5 days. You're going to be there for 8 months. Oh, and by the way, it's leaking. And there could be catastrophic. So I'm keeping my eye on that, man. Yeah, man.
Instead of worrying about Elon down here, worried about the efficiency.
Elon.
Get up there,
get up there to space and help them.
Do what you do best, man. Get them people situated, man.
You already talking to Russia. You get the Dragon capsule and the super heavy. And y'all get up there and y'all help these people.
Right, Elon be up and down in space, bro. Like he going around the corner. Right. You ain't been able to get these people home yet, man. Right. Throw one of them rockets up there, get them people home for that thing blow up. So Russia saying, I'm assuming it ain't that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal.
And the U.S. is like,
I don't know about that.
Hey, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Some eyes are on them, man. Prayers to them while they're in that tin can circling the earth at several thousand miles per hour.
Hey, man, that is crazy. That is crazy. That is something for us to keep our eye on because that might not end too well, man. Yeah, they've been up there for a minute. I don't know. How do you pack to go to space? Because if I pack to go somewhere for 5 days and it end up turning into 8 months, they got any toiletries? Like they got a supply of like toiletries up there. Like,
well, I think they have the refueling and the resupply things, but like. Bro, I only brought draws for
if I brought draws
8 days, man. I got the 3 in case of an emergency. Now,
do they have a wash house in space? Like, what are you doing?
I gotta assume, man.
I gotta wash your drawers, bro. This is getting out of hand. Like that's crazy. They use Tide, Gain, like.
And you know what? At this point, hey, we want to do a radio call with America. Absolutely not.
Oh, bro.
No.
They sent the right ones up there because I'm going to tell you what. If I get up there and you tell me I'm going to be here 5 days and it turned into 8 months, every time y'all talk to me, it's about to be ignorant.
I'm
dogging the whole country. Thanksgiving coming up, ain't no turkey, ain't no cranberry, ain't no mac and cheese, ain't no sweet potato pie. I'm up here eating space food. Right.
I better figure out how to freeze dry some of this.
Can somebody set up a plate, please? But man, that is our spotlight of the week, man. So y'all, again, as we say every episode, we'll see what happens. We'll see what the political gods give us.
And I got one more spotlight. Biden has just approved Ukraine's use of long-range U.S. weapons in Russia. So that we will watch because.
Well, I think I saw some reports saying that between now and the end of the Biden administration, they're going to try to give Ukraine as much as they can possibly give them because they know that winter's coming and they're going to have to do something. And if they don't get a leg up in this war before the Biden administration leaves, it ain't looking good for Ukraine, man.
Not at all.
Well, we will see. We will keep up with it, man. So that is our episode, season 1, episode 10. Again, if you guys have any information, any questions, anything that you would like for us to talk about here at the podcast, send it over to us on our socials. We still have X. We're now popping on Blue Sky. So send us stuff there. You can email us. And we have what other social media sites do we have, man? Am I missing one?
We on Twitch and YouTube. So
Twitch and YouTube. Yeah. So send us anything. We again, as always, we appreciate every single listen that you guys give us, and the feedback that you give us is greatly appreciated. So continue to share, continue to listen to the pod, share with your friends, share it in your spaces that people can come in as we keep growing. We appreciate everything you guys do. So, Manny, anything you got for the people?
I'm all good here.
All right,
we'll see y'all next week.
All hearts and minds are clear. We'll see y'all next week. Take care. We'll see y'all later, world.